Hi everybody, I am finishing up for the day and I've got a job here that I think is going to be a quick one. We were just talking and we had the idea, wouldn't it be fun to see if we could do a race? We're going to see what happens if we ask about this exact phone on the Apple Support Community Forum and ask how to fix it or if it can be fixed and see what kind of answers we get. I'm going to guess that they're going to tell us that we can't fix it. But maybe they'll surprise us, who knows? I'm not really sure what's wrong with it, but I have an idea. So let's start with the note, and we'll just copy that note right over to Apple Support Community Forum, and maybe they can help us fix this phone. Let's see. So this is a iPhone 6s that is here for us with a backlight quote. But it says, this phone still works. However, there's no picture, just a black screen. So they're not mentioning any kind of screen change or the typical presentation. An iPhone 6s backlight job typically presents as something that happened during screen change. But this one looks like it could be the native screen. I'm not really sure. So what I'm going to do is see if... Actually, what I'm going to do is post my question first. So let's do that. Let's post the question. All right, let's go over here, search or ask a question. All right, so their note exactly says, the phone still works, however, there's no picture, just a black screen. So let's see. iPhone 6s, no picture. Help me. Let's see, can we fix it? Hello, Teresa. All right. Can I fix it? Transferring photos, stolen phone, airdrop, button. None of that is really helping me. So I'm going to have to ask my own question. So let's see what happens. All right, so let's call it iPhone 6s. No picture. Phone still works, black screen, no picture, black screen. All right, so let's tell them that my phone still works, however, there's no picture, just a black screen. My iPhone 6s is still working. Let's give some more details. I can hear notifications, but it has a black screen that has no picture. And then let's tell them that the screen is not cracked or damaged. Just one day, I can't see anything on it. What are my options? I really love this phone and I don't want to have to replace it. All right, fair enough. What are my options? Let's see. All right, what is this about? This is about an iPhone 6s. Kilted Tim's gonna ban me. No, they're gonna tell me, you know what? I have faith in humanity. They're gonna say, it sounds like your best bet is to go to your local cell phone repair shop and at least rule out the screen. That's probably what I would say if I were answering this question. All right, this is an iPhone 6s. This is related to the hardware because the phone just quit working. Post. Well, I'll say, you're not allowed to post. Yay, I posted my question. All right, so now there's no replies yet. So the clock is started. Let's race. Let's see if we can fix this phone before those guys tell us that it can't be done. All right, let's see. So I can see my chat over here. This is live. Yes, this is a live stream. Hi, Dustin. I see you, just like Captain Kangaroo could see right through a screen. All right, first, let's check to see if this is charging or not. Okay, so I've got a USB ammeter. Now I took my camera home the other day, so I can only use this big camera. All right, so we see some activity on USB ammeter, and it looks like it has a normal charging current. Now, a phone that is able to charge normally often is also able to boot and things like that. So the first thing that I want to do is to do rule number 1. You don't have a board problem until you know you don't have a parts problem. So I'm going to put a different screen, a known good, on here to see if maybe that's what it is. Hey, Jessa, how are you and your staff today at iPad Rehab? Well, my staff has told me, I've been informed that there's a thing. I went to the hairdresser today, which is the main reason why, I got to stream something, of course, today. They told me that there was a thing that you could get you could get an eyelash perm. What? Never heard of it. So I think Sunday's getting an eyelash perm right now, honestly. All right, let's see. Christine is finally willing to learn microsoldering. Yay! So she's going to learn reballing. We're going to have reballing school for Christine tomorrow. So I'm really super excited about that. Okay, so I have unscrewed just the battery, and now I'm going to take off this screen. So this screen, this seems like it is the native screen. I see Apple logo on the flex. I don't see any markings. It looks like a, I can see the Apple with the QR code right here. Let's show you. So I'm pretty sure that this is not just a failed, goddamn third-party screen replaced with them crappy screens. I don't think that's the deal. All right, so we've got Apple logo on the screen itself. So if it's not an original, then it's a refurbished original. And then we've got a Apple logo here on the flax. So no other markings that imply that this is any kind of a refurbished screen. Everything looks totally native. So this looks like her original screen, just to know. Okay, so first we're gonna do rule number 1. Reballing looks like it would be highly satisfying. It really is. It's a great way to learn it's a great start to microsoldering. We do it on day 1 at Practical Board Repair School because you really get to know your equipment. Plus, it is definitely in that sort of oddly satisfying category to just see those solder pastes kind of perk up into balls. Okay, so now I have a new screen on. And what I'm going to do, instead of use the battery, maybe this battery's dead, I'm going to connect it to DC power supply. So we're going to have to use the trust-based DC power supply since I can't show you. My camera is at home. Been trying to set up to be able to do more videos at home. Doing videos at home is something you could do at night. Video editing, it turns out, takes a lot of time. I spent all day yesterday making that right to repair video, and then they're like, oh, why don't you just solder those coils back on? There was like 100 comments on that. And of course I had forgotten to mention in minute 1 that the device was sent to us as a board and back housing, so it never had those coils. Okay, so according to my DC power supply, this phone has a relatively normal current consumption, which tells me it is booting, it is alive, which matches the complaint. But I don't see anything on the display, so I see no image. Now, one trick that I can do is I can split the display to see whether or not this is actually a backlight problem or an image problem. So I've split the display. See that? So now I can differentiate no backlight from no image. And this is no image because there's no Apple logo. I don't see anything. All right, so let's, that looked like that was a fairly normal boot sequence to me. Let's see if this computer will detect it, which will really confirm it, although my computer jack is definitely on the way out. Let's see. Can we detect it? Can we detect it? Can iTunes detect it? Looks like a no. And that computer, I would flop over and use that jack, but that computer is busy recovering a local professor's dropped USB stick that we had to fix today, so we can't borrow that either. All right, so we'll have to skip that part. All righty, So I think this phone is booting, but it has no display, no image. So now we need to figure out why does it have no image. But first, let's check and see if we got an answer to our question or not. Let's find out. Let's see if we get some great guidance here. All right, there's no replies. Let's see. Let's refresh. Maybe we got some replies. No replies? Seriously? Let's click over here. All right, come on, answer me. iPhone 6s, no picture, black screen. Help me, Apple. You're the only one. Okay, so let's check. All right, I'm a Joe Rogan kind of guy. I have no idea how to repair stuff, but I like to have surface knowledge about everything. Yes, that is a really good way to be, I think. Okay, now time to measure some stuff on the board. So first, when we're troubleshooting, we're gonna say, is this a signature problem? Are there any known kind of common colds for iPhone 6s no image? And the answer is yes. It is really common in the iPhone 6s to have a couple things that cause no image that you can all find on my channel. One, you can have no image because you have a short to ground at a reset line within the CPU. Usually that comes from connecting the wrong screen. I just wrote a blog about this a couple of weeks ago on iPadRehab.com blog. You can read all about it. Number two is that it's really common to have the 1v8 image filter will blow. Now usually that happens in connection with a backlight problem. This doesn't seem to have a backlight problem, it's an image problem. Number three would be a really common short circuit on one of the 5v7 image power rails. So let's look for those spots. Now from just working on these a lot, it's handy to memorize your signature problems. So you should you're a physician, you should know, where's the common cold, and you should know where the tonsils are so that you can check them out without having to look it up every single time. So that's what we're gonna do. Let's go to the microscope. To the microscope, everyone. All right, so here's our board under the microscope. I'm not going to take it out of the housing. All right, let's see. Ivory Coast, that's a long way away. The one that I'm having here doing the same thing is my mom's. This happened whenever she dropped it. Really? Well, then why don't you chime in on Apple support and say, I'm having this problem too. It's when she dropped it, it went to no image. It was still playing the notification. It would vibrate whenever you click that little button. Well, caulk, that's the common presentation. This is something that happens after a mild drop. It's really common. I got 50 knocks. Thanks, Arvid. I would like to answer on the forum, but they banned both my accounts. Yeah, I get banned pretty much every day. What I noticed today is that they banned my the easy 10-minute mail temporary email addresses that I was using to set up new accounts. So you can't do that anymore, but there's still a way. I pretty much make a new account every day so that I can get banned. Now these guys think, it's so funny, these guys think that there are 2 or 3 people that are trolling this forum. I make 1 or 2 comments a day, but there are hundreds of things on there. Most of them are people that I have absolutely no idea who this is. All right, here we go. Here is our handy dandy multimeter in diode mode. So let's do some measuring. All right, so measuring. First, let's check on backlight. All right, so we're gonna do diode mode, red probe on ground. So I'm gonna put my lovely red probe here on the shield for ground. And I'm gonna check where the tonsils are for backlight, which is this line right here, backlight anode line, 0.516, and that is normal. Now, just FYI, always disconnect your battery whenever you're probing around on a board. Okay, so that's normal. So this does not have a backlight anode line problem, and that is in line with what we would expect. Backlight doesn't just go bad unless there's a short circuit, and there's not. All right, next, let's check on the 1v8 image filter. So that's this guy right here. Now he looks good, so I don't think that's gonna be the problem, and he usually blows in connection with the backlight problem. So on one side he's 0.36, the other side 0.36, and he's here at this spot, number 4 in the connector, 0.36. That guy's fine, that's all normal. There is continuity through that filter, everything is good. All right, now we've got, you can see just this little peeking out of our CPU reset line. So this one we want to probe here and just have it not be ground. And it's not ground, so it fails by becoming short to ground. So that's not it either. So our last spot is to check on the common cold. Now maybe something weird's going on. I have no way to know. I mean, I just opened this up and you can see this is all totally native. Just took the screen off. Still even has its SIM card in there. All right, so let's check on that. Let's check here. One side is ground and the other side is supposed to be 0.5. But it's not 0.5. Look at that. 0.085. So let's do that again. Ground. Super low. So it's short to ground on the line side. So that means we have a short to ground somewhere on that power line. Now that is power for image. It's one of the handful of lines that provide power to fire up your LCD and light up those pixels. So that is going to be very consistent with the problem. All right, is this the actual same phone in the Apple support forums that you are now repairing? Yes, please, let's see how bad they are. All right, yes, did they tell me, did I get an answer? Because now we know what the problem is. The problem is that we have in a unopened phone that had a native screen on it. You know, so this lady's phone just shit the bed there on that image power line. So she didn't, you know, nothing happened here. She probably did have a light drop, but it didn't crack the screen. So, you know, it is what it is. So how, so now we know that we're definitely not gonna have image until we restore that line. So we've got to clear that short, which means we got to know where is the cause of the short circuit. Let's check over and see what kind of answers I'm getting, what kind of help. Maybe we could add, should we edit? Can we even do that? Can we edit and say, actually now we know that there is a short on, there is a short to ground on the image power line. Can we edit and like kind of give them a little extra information so that we can get some answers? Hello, anyone? No? Okay, so carry on then. I guess we're on our own. Got to fix it ourselves. Let's get rid of this. All right, so now back to signature problems and common colds. So this is for you, caulk. Get out your phone, and I want you to promise me that you will measure first. I want you to measure before you do what I'm about to do to fix your mom's phone. I want you to measure first. So you got to get a multimeter, and you've got to set your multimeter in diode mode. That means click around on that thing in Google until you can figure out how to set it in diode mode with the little triangle and the line symbol. Then take the red probe and put it on ground. Now that's a little bit counterintuitive because usually black goes on ground, but not for this measurement. Red probe on ground, and then I want you to find the capacitor. Sometimes it's covered up with this underfill stuff. Find this end capacitor that's right here. See where it is? This is the battery. It's right in the armpit of the board. Right, find that, and then you're gonna measure it. And what you really care about is that your multimeter doesn't decide to turn off right when you're trying to show everybody something. All right, diode mode, red probe on ground, and then measure right there in that spot. And if you get a reading that's low, 0.004 like me, that means you have a short to ground. You have very low resistance to ground. There's a hole to ground. This thing's bleeding. The blood is spilling out and going to ground. Why? Now, we could look at the schematic and we could figure out, what is that line? We could research it, and I encourage you to do that. But I gotta get home because the bus is coming, so we're gonna skip that for now, and I'm just gonna tell you, from experience, that line goes like this. There is a display power chip called Chestnut, and that guy produces several lines that are outputs. This is one of them. This output is, I think it's PP5V7LCM AVDDH, and it goes from Chestnut to a filter, and then it goes to the connector. So short to ground can only be caused by caps or chips that go bad. Chestnut is rarely the place that goes bad. So one of the caps that are on this line is the likely cause, probably just one. So we could hunt down and we could figure out what caps are on this line. And just from memory, I'm pretty sure it's this guy. And then this guy, not him, this guy, and that guy. And that's it. So the possibilities are chestnut, which is unlikely, or A, B, C, D, or E. And I might have one of those wrong because this is totally from memory. From my experience, the guy that goes bad can be any of them. I've seen each one of them. I've seen it be this guy, I've seen it be one or the other of them, seen it be him, seen it been him before. But the guy that's the common fault is the one that's here on the end. Now, why is this? We don't really know, but we can take a guess. We know that there's 5.7 volts that's supposed to be on that line, and these caps are all rated for a maximum of 6.3 volts. That's really tight on the clearance. So if you exceed that, then they're just gonna crunch together inside and become a wire to ground. So I'm gonna guess that the problem is that guy right there. I think that he actually is become a wire, even though he looks beautiful, he looks great. So how are we going to test that? Let's take him off. Let's get rid of him. Now, if this was a phone that I was just trying to do some data recovery on, I might actually knock him off with a razor blade, but since I would like to fix this phone, I'm gonna take him off with some hot tweezers. Pretty sure your post is shadow banned or hidden. I can't see it on the Apple Community Forum. What? Never mind, I found it. Good. I would hate to think that the Apple Support Community Forum was like banning stuff. That would be totally unfair. All right, let's take this off. All right, I'm gonna be careful of the camera flex there, not to touch it. One of the fun things to do when you're trying to remove this short is to kind of guess whether or not removing the cap to remove the short by how the solder behaves. So if that short is still there, then both of these pads are ground. Ground sucks up heat. So when I touch a soldering iron to it, if both sides are ground, both pads will feel muddy. However, if that actually cleared the short, then only this pad will feel muddy. So this pad does feel muddy. Ah, and look at that pad. Look at that. Bloop, bloop, bloop. So I can tell already, that definitely solved the problem. This phone's already fixed because of look at how that behaves. When I just touch it, bloop, bloop, it's liquid. And this one, look at that, it's pushing mud because it's ground. Pretty cool. Now let's confirm with the multimeter. So oh, this guy's still awake. All right, so now when we measure that same spot, let's make it look like it's been looking this whole time. Let's check red probe on ground, and let's touch that spot. Aha, 0.6. So now we're back up to normal, which tells us that we've cleared our short. Aha, now let's put back on, just to test, let's Banhammer USA, what? Where's the forum post for this phone? Let's put back on the screen and test. But first, let's check to see what's going on the Apple Support Community Forum. So let's click back to our post, which is this legitimate phone, just as it's written in the note. iPhone 6s is still working. I can hear notifications, black screen. It's not cracked or damaged. All true. Look at that. Not cracked or damaged. Can't see anything. What are my options? No replies. Let's refresh. Maybe no answer. Nobody. Nothing. Okay. Well, we're still on our own. All right. So hopefully we have actually fixed this ourselves. It would be really funny. Did the Apple Support Community give up? Did they just quit? If it is, that's it. No more questions. No soup for you. Did they just, have we defeated them? Yay! All right. Anyone know where I can buy a good 6S screen? Yes, you can buy a good 6S screen from a lot of places, none of which are eBay or Amazon. So we recommend that people look for our favorite guys in the industry that really support the right to repair and support do good work in the industry. So we will direct people to Injured Gadgets in Georgia, in Atlanta, and we will direct people to Mobile Centrics as well in Virginia. And of course, we will direct you, especially if you are DIY, to our beloved iFixit in California, because those guys should get your money with all of the work that they do to support this industry. All right, so now I have put back on their screen, and Let's see. Now, if this phone doesn't turn up, then we're going to have a whole lot of work to do because it'll no longer be a common cold. Then this phone will have Ebola instead of rhinovirus, and we'll be screwed. Hello, Jessa. Have you done repair on the infamous volume problem on the 6S? Is there a video? I have no idea what the infamous volume problem is, so you got to clue me in on that. Maybe I could look it up on Apple Support Community Forums. All right, now let's see. Let's prompt to boot here. And prompting to boot. Oh, look at that, baby. Oh, that's like really out of angle. All right, can we fix it? Let's see. Will this phone actually boot all the way up? Let's see. I have an SE that can't detect SIM cards. Haha, no reply on the thread. Love my new, yes, this multimeter is from, oh, let's check this out. The multimeter is available at iPad Rehab Supply. You too can own and use our beautiful multimeter here. Isn't it cute? All right, and here we go. So let's see, do we have touch? Yes, so the chestnut function is working because we have touch, and let's check. All right, their passcode is working. Back in, there we go. And let's check. We have this phone is charging up, booted up. This phone has booted and cured its image problem. This is its own screen. So I got rid of the test screen. Here's my test screen over here. All right, so this isn't the test screen. This is its native Apple screen. So there was really nothing wrong with this phone or your mom's phone, cock one, cock. There's really nothing wrong with this phone other than they have a texting problem and it's getting way too many notifications sitting here in my hand. So there you go. Let's go back and finish this up so that I can get out of here. Let's go back and bring back our question, and now we'll have to just reply to ourselves and say, never mind, I fixed it myself. It turns out that it was the common short on, let me make sure, I don't want to mislead anybody on the, yeah, C4200 was short on PP5V7 LCM AVDDH. So let's make sure, where's my window? There it is. It was the common short on C4200 on PP 5V7 LCM AVDDH. Once I cleared the short, the phone came back with normal display. Sorry for bothering you all with this. Please pass this along to the next guy with the same problem. There we go. Is that totally fine? Post. Hey. Ah, awesome. You probably need a screen replacement. I am going to ignore people that are only level 1 because actually that's not true. I'll give somebody some points. It is true. Solved. Great job. There you go. Now you got some points there. These are trolls. I just know it. All right, so there we go. So now that that question will help out lots of people. I'm sure it will stay there on the forum as a great solution for the next guy. Yeah, there we go. I'll mark myself helpful. Are you allowed to do that? There we go. Perfect. So that'll go to the top. Okay, that's all we can do. This phone is done. I'm gonna put the screws back in just to put the battery screws back in, and I'm gonna get it over to the mail so that it can go out today. And there we go, deleting in 10, 9, 8. There are no replies. Bailey, are you on my stream? Is that you? Is it? Is there another person named Illuminati? We'll see. I'm good. Knock some heads. All right, see you next time.